Welcome to Rocks Talks. The sun is not sunning, but it is the 22nd of February, which means February is almost done. Are you ready for it? Today we're gonna chat about we have to talk about a little bit at least the embryo case in Alabama. I'm going to be asking you for some advice on the dog thing and then just some updates on what's going on in the world. I thought that would be great, and an updates on Rocks Talks. So first thing I thought was really interesting, and did you know on this day, this is like a special day. I mean, just a lot of things have happened. This day in 1732, George Washington was born. Maybe that's why President's Day is around this week. I'm betting that that has something to do with it. In 1977, do you remember where you were? That was the release of Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place. And which is interesting because there's like a whole thing going on. A trial began just yesterday in New York about the handwritten lyrics that were stolen from that song. Don't know the details, but I thought it was interesting. Also, 1980, as an Olympics buff, 1980 on February 22nd was the Miracle on Ice. Do you know what that was? That's when the U.S. hockey team beat Russia. Woo! Yes. USA. And then 1997, do you remember Dolly? Hello, Dolly. That was the first cloned adult sheep. She was born in Edinburgh, Scotland. And last but not least, in 2004, today, was when the last and final episode of Sex and the City aired. Do you remember it? Oh, man. They were in Paris. I remember it vividly. That's wild. 2004. So that's 20 years ago. If you want to age yourself and myself as well, I think those things might have aged you just a little bit. Also, interesting enough, shout out to Beyonce. Her song Texas Hold'em actually debuted #1 on the country charts. My question is this, because I know there was a lot of, we talked about it when they announced it right after the Super Bowl. There's a lot of hullabaloo about it, and Beyonce can't do country. Why is she trying to be country? Who's she copying? All these things. And I'm like, she's from Houston. The woman knows country. Let's calm down, everybody. Let's not pigeonhole people just based on what they've done before and what they look like. However, I am curious. Do you think, and do you know, I don't listen to radio, honestly. I'm a podcast listener, and I do a lot of the talk, the gram, all those things. I'm wondering if country stations are playing it. It debuted #1, but if you would let me know, if you listen to like Bobby Bones or whatever, whomever, are they playing it? And will they have her on their station to promote it? If she will have them, I guess she can kind of decide those things. But I'm curious, are they playing the song? The song is getting a lot of traction, definitely on social media, and it's a catchy song. If you haven't listened to it, it's called Texas Hold'em, which makes sense because she's from Texas. Just saying. Thought that was interesting, for sure. Okay, so this week, get a little more serious. Alabama, Alaska. Do you remember that song, 50 Nifty? Anyway, Alabama Supreme Court ruled that embryos have the same rights. I want to say this correctly, and I might say it wrong, so forgive me. I have not actually read the entire case, which as a former lawyer, I feel like I should have, but anyway, I didn't. But embryos actually have the same rights as unborn children, which is interesting. And I say that because it creates all of these like, okay, wait, if embryos, which are like fertilized eggs, if they have the same rights, then the issue, and it came up because there's a wrongful death suit because a lab, I guess they accidentally destroyed some embryos and the parents sued, which I can understand and I get. But so the court basically said they have the same rights as unborn children. So now the largest hospital, I think it's UAB in Auburn, has stopped all, they're still doing egg retrieval, but they've stopped all embryo fertilization and some other things as well too, till they figure this out. Because now if they're storing embryos, they're storing unborn children. Like it kind of, my head kind of like, I'm just, wait, huh? And it's not that I think it's right or wrong. It's that I'm just like, huh? I'm sure I'll have an opinion about it eventually. But I think at some point, legally, we have to draw a line on a living human and a non-living human. I'm not sure that I have the research to know when that is, but I can understand why a parent would feel like, hey, those are my embryos. we were maybe IVF or whatever type of fertility issues, and those were our kids, and you ruin those. I get that. I get that from a personal level. But the implications that it has makes me wonder if that's how it should be at a legal level. I mean, the moral of the story is don't live in Alabama. For a million reasons. And this is a million reason number 1,000,001. Yes, I said it. I know some of you love Bama and you live there, and I have friends that live there. I just, as a Black woman, I never understood it. I just don't know why you'd live there. And I know I just don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't. And I feel like every 6 months I see a story that reminds me not to get it. Listen, some people hate California, and I lived in California for 7 years. I love living in California. Like, oh, can you believe California did such and such? And okay, I'm not saying they're right or wrong, but Alabama just is, you won't see me even driving through Alabama because I might go to the wrong spot, and that might be an issue. Not trying to do any of that nonsense. Just saying. Whew. So Baylor and Maisie right now, and the reason I started late is because they were both sleeping on a blanket on top of me. Like, one was a little higher, one was a little lower, but they're both there. So they're probably this far away from each other, which is progress. Maisie's going in for it. Maisie's like, I am tired of this. You will like me. And Baylor's like, when they are awake. But one of my dear friends, who is also my OG vet, she said that to put a bunch of treats between the two of them, near them, and that'll help. So Baylor's not a treat dog. So I'm not sure what treats to get. Do you have any suggestions? It needs to be like clean and good and all those things. But Baylor, because she has so many gastrointestinal issues, and she was very sickly when we rescued her when she's little. We don't mess. She has like blueberries. She has like apples. I'm not ready to give Maisie blueberries or apples quite yet. I think that's a little strong, or like she'll have carrots. So I'm like, I don't even know what to put between them to make this an okay thing. So if you have any suggestions on that, I would love to hear it. Also, within the Rocks Talks world, the newsletter is either coming out today, although I have to tell you, I'm going to be out of the office. Can we call this an office? I'll be out of this. I feel like this is a doggy play room right now, but I will be out and about today. But the goal is to get the newsletter out. It'll be out by Friday at the latest. And one of the things I need to do is I'm setting the date for the TikTok workshop, y'all. The interest I've been hearing about it, that I think is amazing. Yay. Not only that, but the impact that I know that I can make by just helping you with what is TikTok, how do I get set up? Or if you're already set up, we'll take that a little step further, and it will be like, okay, now you're set up. Awesome. This is what you do to build, because there's a lot of growth happening on TikTok. And if you're missing out on it, you are missing out. I don't want you to miss out. So that is coming, and I'm going to set the dates. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to just have like workshop sign up, tell me your level. And depending on the amount of people that sign up, I may do separate sessions. So if you're like, listen, I don't need the intro, I need like, get me going, then I can offer that as well too. So that's what I think I'm going to do. I think I know I'm going to do that. And one of the big things I think is important to realize, I don't have a lot of followers on TikTok, but I'm currently making money on TikTok. I am generating like collabs. People are asking me to promote their things on TikTok because my content is so good. TikTok is less about followers numbers, although with your follow numbers, you get more things unlocked. TikTok lets you do more things, but there's so much. I was on yesterday live. What was I talking about? Oh, I talked about Sandoval and what we talked about yesterday. And I had 12,000 people watching me throughout it. I'm just saying, what other platform do you get that? And if there's another platform, let me know, because I'd like to check that one out as well too. But I will be doing that. So I'm really excited about launching that. And if you want to find out more about it, it's going to be in the newsletter that's going to come out. And I'll put a link here as well too. I am going to charge for it because I am. I think what feels right is $20. So $20, come to the workshop, get what you need, all the things to lean into that. So stay tuned for that. All right, I think that's all for today. Today I'm going to get to go to the gym. So Scott's going to watch the girls. Let you know that it better go well. And I figured I was able to sleep last night. That felt really good. What we did was fed Maisie last night, tuckered her out and let her just play like crazy downstairs, and then come upstairs and play some more while we're all in bed. And then when she finally was like, oh, I took her, brought her into bed, and that worked out really well. I watched Love is Blind. Oh, I forgot to mention Love is Blind. Y'all, 3 episodes came out yesterday. I told you that. Insanity. Absolute insanity. I will, maybe I'll talk about that tomorrow. I'm going to give you a little time to watch it, but because there are 3 instead of 2 episodes. But insanity, plot twists. I'm upset. I'm shocked. I'm all the things. Couples I didn't care about, I now care about. Couples I did care about, I'm like, you need to turn it on. You need to turn that on, okay? We'll talk about it tomorrow. All right, you have a great day. Go be great, and I can't wait to see you mañana. Thanks for watching. Please, if you have any questions or any comments, I'd love for you to pop them in the chat. Thank you if you're watching for the first time, please give it a follow. Then you'll get an update when another episode comes out. I do it Monday through Friday. I'm also being better about putting them on the Spotify and the Apple Podcasts and wherever you listen to podcasts. So if you're listening to it, there is a YouTube Rocks Talk show where you can see it live, and that's where it comes out and premieres. And then I do put it in the other areas. I'm up to date, which feels pretty good on that. And then also follow me on TikTok. I'm Rocks Talk Show. Follow me on Instagram, Rocks Talks, and we'll keep the conversation going. Lots of fun. Appreciate you. Go be great.